What if taking care of yourself actually helped you show up better for everyone else? I'm Janet Jacks, Coach Janet J, and this is your next best step. This podcast is about real doable shifts that help you breathe easier and move forward one step at a time. If you've been carrying the weight of too much for too long and waiting for things to calm down before you start caring for yourself, this is your sign. The time is now. Let's begin where you are. You were made for more than just surviving. Charisma has been sold to us like it is personality glitter. Big energy, big stories, big presence. But real charisma, it is quieter than that. Real charisma is warmth plus steadiness. And here is the relief for those of us who love meaningful conversation over performance. Charisma can feel like you. Have you ever had a conversation that felt fine, and then another one that instantly felt comfortable, like you could finally breathe? That difference? That is what we often call charisma. Today is Micro Charisma Part 1, Warmth and Competence Without Performance. Next time, in Part 2, we will build on this foundation with the connection skill that many introverts already love. For today, we are staying simple and grounded. I used to believe charisma meant being the fun one, the fast talker, the storyteller, the kind of person who walks into a room and flips a switch. Yeah, that is not me. I am more warm presence, steady tone, meaningful connection, and honestly, a polite exit before small talk turns into a marathon. So I started paying attention to the people I felt drawn to. They were rarely dramatic, they were warm, and they were steady. Here is why charisma is worth caring about. It is not about being impressive. It is about making others feel at ease. When you are dealing with aging parents who need reassurance, adult children who need guidance, coworkers who need steady leadership, or friends who need to feel seen, charisma is how you create that sense of safety. It is influence without manipulation. Connection without pretending to be someone you are not. And for those of us in the sandwich generation, juggling 1,000 things, having this skill means conversations take less emotional energy, not more. Here is what decades of social psychology research tells us about charisma. It comes down to two dimensions, warmth and competence. Researchers at Princeton, including Dr. Susan Fiske and her colleagues, have studied how we form impressions of others across cultures. And these two dimensions show up consistently. Warmth answers, are you safe? Are you for me? Competence answers, are you steady? Can I trust you? When someone gives off both kindness and steadiness, people relax. They feel seen and they feel safe. That is charisma without pretending to be someone you are not. Here is the encouraging part. Charismatic behaviors are learnable. Leadership researcher Dr. John Antonakis and his team at the University of Lausanne tested this directly. They trained managers in specific charisma behaviors, then measured how others perceived them 3 months later. The result? Charisma ratings improved significantly with an average effect size of about 60%. So this is not a personality lottery. It is a skill set. Now, a quick note on body language. You may have heard about power posing. the idea that standing in a certain pose changes your hormones and makes you more confident. The original 2010 study claimed this, but when other research teams tried to replicate those findings, they could not. The hormonal effects did not hold up. What did hold up? People reported feeling more powerful after expansive postures. So here is what is practical and realistic. Aim for open posture and a calmer pace. Not theatrical, just grounded. This is where Colossians 4:6 fits beautifully. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. Grace is warmth. A steady, wise response is competence. This verse gives us a faith-rooted picture of charisma that feels clean. No performing, no pretending, no hype. Just grace and wisdom offered steadily. Here is your next best step for this week. A warmth and competence 1-minute rep. In one conversation this week, work, church, family, anywhere, practice this sequence. Presence. Phone fully away. Yes, we talked about this in the love languages episode, and it matters here too. 1 breath, soft eye contact. And you need warmth. Deliver 1 specific, sincere affirmation. Examples: I appreciate how steady you were today. Or, thank you for following through on that. Or, I'm grateful you showed up. Competence. Add 1 calm, clear line that signals steadiness. Here is what I'm focused on next. The next step is simple. I will handle this part by Friday and circle back. That is the whole rep. Warmth and competence in 1 minute. And of course, your 4 health pillars. Mental, you are building a repeatable skill instead of overthinking your personality. Emotional, warmth lowers social friction and steadiness builds trust. Physical, slower pace and relaxed posture reduces tension in your body. Spiritual, your conversation becomes full of grace, aligned with Colossians 4:6. If this feels a little awkward at first, that is normal. A new skill often feels mechanical before it feels natural. Your goal is simple. People leave your presence feeling valued and steadied. That is authentic charisma. Today was Micro Charisma Part 1, Warmth and Competence, No Pretending Required. Your next best step is that 1-minute rep, 1 conversation this week. And next time, we will build on this foundation with Micro Charisma Part 2. All right, you've got your next step. Small, doable, and real. If this inspired you, make sure to grab your free 5-minute daily reset at yournextbeststep.com. It's my gift to help you pause the chaos and reconnect with what matters most. Be sure to subscribe. And if someone came to mind while you listened, please share this with them. Remember, you are seen, you are known, and you matter. Be kind to yourself along the way. You are making real change, 1 step at a time. One more thing about warmth and charisma before we go. Research shows that people who are high in both warmth and competence trigger admiration. Here is what is interesting. People who are high in competence but low in warmth, they trigger envy. And people who are high in warmth but low in competence, they trigger pity. So if you have ever wondered why some highly successful people are not well liked, or why some really kind people are not taken seriously, it is often because one dimension is missing. The sweet spot? Both grace and wisdom, warmth and steadiness. That is the combination that makes people feel both safe and inspired around you.